Hello, welcome back, all of you Regs and all of you Shinies. It is Jackson from the 1313 podcast today, here with an amazing first time ever in-person Have a Chat episode. Now, this is pretty wild. This is Noah. He's one of my buddies from the 501st Legion here. And before we get started with this Have a Chat episode, just want to remind you all, if you want to talk to amazing Star Wars people like Noah or many others in our community, make sure to join our Discord. We have a Patreon if you want to help financially support the podcast, and we also have channel memberships for only just 99 cents a month. And you can also just find us on Instagram, Twitch. We have X, but we don't really use it. Maybe don't follow us on X, kind of a thing. But very, very excited, Noah, to have you on today. Noah, tell the people a little bit about who you are.
Hi, so obviously my name's Noah. I'm a 501st member, TK20023. I was actually born in California, or I was raised San Diego, California. So most of my 501st time and stuff was spent over there. I was with the Imperial Sands Garrison. I only recently moved here to Oahu, Hawaii, and been here for about a year now. I'm plugged in with the Pacific Outpost. We recently just got you here too.
Yeah, so. He's one of the good old boys in blue for the 501st, not that dirty orange 212.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, it's good to have you out here too. I currently, so I'm serving with the Marine Corps. I'm in the Marine Corps band. So I'm a trumpet player, so I play music with for the government. And hey, if anybody's interested in ever coming to see us too, definitely let me know. I'll get you info on shows and stuff if you want to come see us.
Heck yeah. So you were originally a part of the 501st, you mentioned, in California. And so I was actually just talking to some guys on Xbox before I came down here. And they were like, oh, well, what character's your friend? I was like, well, he's a bunch of different characters. Yeah. So was there maybe a reasoning you wanted to go out and do a larger variety of characters in the 501st? Or what really actually made you even start to?
So I got pretty lucky, actually. I think I was about 15 years old.
Okay.
I got my first kit. It was a TIE fighter pilot. I still have that costume. I don't have it here with me, but it's over in California. It's storage over there. I actually got to wear it for the first time in a long time at San Diego Comic-Con last week, which, that was amazing getting to wear it again, getting to see everybody. But yeah, that was my first costume. I actually got really lucky though with a maker. He had a shop called the Jawa Chop Shop. It doesn't exist anymore, but he ended up actually just giving me a free TIE Fighter pilot kit. Yeah, I was beyond stoked.
That's legit.
Yeah. At that age, I was making cardboard and paper mache and EVA foam costumes, and he had seen what I was doing and saw the hard work I was putting into that, and he decided to hook me up with a full-on real kit. But yeah, so that was my first kit, my first costume. The costume I really wanted to do was the classic, the white stormtrooper, but so I eventually evolved into that. That was my second costume.
But, nice. No, maybe not a lot of people on the show know this too, but my first attempt at a costume, I'll put in quotations, was Jack Cooper from Titanfall. I watched a ton of videos on EVA foam, and some of the people I even credit to getting me into trying to do costume making was in Erie. For the first time we had our own little mini Comic-Con, and it was at one of the local libraries, so a super small event, and they did all these video presentations on how they did their Halo armor in EVA. I was like, oh, I should do that too. And I bought it was an Air Force flight suit and a bunch of the foam mats to make in. And the only good part of the suit was the helmet, because I bought the deluxe edition. I bought the deluxe edition.
I know what you're talking about.
But it was supposed to be in before Halloween, and then it didn't come in before Halloween, so it was kind of a bust. So I wore it 2 years in a row because I was like, well, I have to get value out of this costume. But my brother did photography of me in that. It's on my Instagram somewhere, but it's such a core memory starting on that. But even for me, being the 501st was something that I was kind of bit early on. I was like, I really, really want to do this. And I finally saved up enough money, and I was like, I need to get this suit because I know I want to do it. So I was super stoked. And I mean, like you said, at least my intro to the 501st was with a mentor. in our Discord. His name is General Fidelis, but he was the person who like helped me a whole lot with my suit. So when people ask me to like, how did you make your suit? I'm like, well, I did a few of these things, but my mentor did a majority of the work. Because I'm not about to stand here and tell people I made every single thing. There was a lot of nights for me too where we could only work like 1 day a week because it was a like really time constricted schedule for him. So he would work on my stuff sometimes till midnight. So very thankful for that, and for people in the 501st who are really kind to newbies like us. But why did you end up getting so many suits too? I guess just because it's a lot. I hope to only have as many as you do one day.
Hey, I mean, building suits, it's like getting tattoos. You don't only get one. You don't get just one.
That's a good point.
This is my first tattoo right here. I got 2 more now. I want to get more, but it's just getting around to it type thing.
Gotta get the Star Wars stuff, dude. I'm telling you, it's good.
No,
but
I actually have this tattoo right here.
Oh, sheesh! I'm loving it. That's pretty sweet. Now, I forgot to tell you too, just because I told a few people in my Discord that I was trying to. There was that camo clone kit that I sent you.
Yeah.
Someone bought it. They like just beat me to it because the posting was up for an hour and someone had just messaged him before me.
Do you know where it was located?
Oh, he said he was in Cali, so that's why I was like, no, because he said he could have shipped it, and I was like, crap.
Yeah.
But that's like a dream second suit for me, is to do one of the Kashyyyk troopers.
Kashyyyk trooper? Okay.
Oh, yeah. See, I didn't know this too, but I was debating with some of the people in my Discord as well, because Luke in the garrison, shout out to Luke, who's our Vader, but he was showing me that there's a white variant of that trooper.
There is, and I've never seen it in anything. I don't know what it's in. I'm kind of thinking it might be in a comic book or something.
He told me it's in Star Tours, the ride at Disney.
Tours.
He said it's in it for a
second.
and then that is it. And I was kind of blown away too that that's like
an actual costume.
Yeah, because it's a ride at Disney, and at least how most stuff stands, it has to be in like a Star Wars media at some point for it to like be considerable. But I guess I don't know. That was kind of a odd one too. But so you were originally talking to me as well that you wanted to start doing some like more like Star Wars content. You were mentioning too, like people like the Dad Batch on social media, or even Bad Batch Tech, is it?
Joe Lara, tech.dadbatch. He's a good friend of mine. Got to go see. So actually recently, I think I just mentioned it, but going to San Diego Comic-Con, got to see pretty much all the, all the Imperial Sands, all the SoCal Garrison people, We had some people actually from Australia coming out too.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, from some of the garrisons out there. So it was really cool getting to see everybody, but
Dude, I am curious, and I will note this too for the episode, but you've got to tell me a little bit more about like Comic-Con, like what it was like, at least with the people, just because I've never gone, and our podcast scene has only just started to get more into cons, and I'm going to Celebration next year, so really hyped to try to meet a lot of these people.
What anything you want to know specifically about it?
I guess, I don't know, like what's it like, I guess like experiencing it, like with vendors and just like people in general.
So San Diego Comic-Con, to my knowledge, it's the biggest Comic-Con in the world, period.
Yeah.
It gets bigger and bigger each year. It's harder and harder to get in each year. I actually grew up going there. I've been almost every year. It's kind of like randomly off and on. I didn't get to go last year, sadly, because I was serving the country. I'll just leave it at that. But I was very lucky to get to go this time around. It was very, very busy.
Seems very busy too from the videos.
Me and one of my best friends, his name is Sebastian Chavarria. He actually does a Sergeant Hound costume.
That's that's so cool.
Yeah, you can follow him actually. His name is SoCal Hound on Instagram.
Nice.
Yep. But no, so me and him, we showed up. I actually had a Shore Trooper costume that I shipped out there, and so I wore my Shore Trooper on the first day, and he was Hound on the first day with me. So we're walking around, and getting lots and lots of attention. It was a really good time. Very, very hard to see the entire time. There's so many people in there. It gets hot, and then you start to fog up a little bit. But so it was just constantly lots and lots of just like meeting people, walking around, seeing booths. There's all sorts of cool things to look at there. You got some Star Wars stuff. It's just all pop culture in general, though. You know?
No, nice. Something too that I was thinking about just because it never crossed my mind. When you troop at events like Comic Con, do you like pre-suit up and then like walk over to the event, or like take a ride, or do you suit up at the con?
So the way we did it was we parked our car kind of like across from where the con was, and we went in there just like no costume at first, walked around, enjoyed it, was looking for who was there, walked around, and then when we were ready, we walked back to our car, and then we suited up at the car, and then went back. So that's usually how we do it, and then whenever we're done, we just go back to the car, suit down, change, and then just chill out for the rest of the day at the con.
No, that's fair. Yeah, because I was looking into. Celebration had made a post on their site saying that apparently in Japanese culture it's not like an acceptable thing to like cosplay around and travel to an event.
That's what I heard actually.
Yeah.
Sadly I will not be going to.
Yeah, very unfortunate.
Yeah, it's hard for me to get time off to go to those types of things. To my knowledge, don't quote me on this. It might not be 100%. But you actually can't cosplay in Japan without a license.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure, not 100%, don't quote me, but
okay.
To my knowledge, you need a license to be able to cosplay like in public in Japan.
Huh, yeah. I might certainly look into that. No, because that's interesting. Because I was thinking of, and I probably won't now at least, shipping my suit there in some way, just because I'm going to ICC-Con in Nashville in October, and I was messing around with some of my pieces this morning, and I tried to see if I could finagle it into a suitcase, and I'll probably be able to fit it into 3. But if I really want to take 3 suitcases with me, especially considering that celebration isn't until the last few days of my trip, and I'm going to be on the opposite side of Japan for the rest of it. Yeah. So my wife's going to probably kill me, probably not even going to mess around with that. Yeah. But no, that's fair. I did not. No, that is pretty good to know. Because at least for, I think it's one of the events that we have coming up too for the Garrison for Honolulu Comic Con, how they were saying that they wouldn't provide us any place to change.
Saw that, yeah.
So I was kind of like, oh, what do we do?
Not 100% sure how that works. I've actually never been to Honolulu Comic Con. Haven't been here long enough to attend one. I did go to this thing called Super Saturday, I believe that's what it was called. Huh. It's a smaller like Comic Con type thing that takes place in Convention Center. We did have our own Pacific Outpost did have our own booth there. And we did have like a little like awning, like a tent that we were able to change in. So I'm not sure if we're gonna get that this time. After hearing that we're not gonna have a place to change, I'm guessing we won't have that. But I'm kind of wondering if that was like our own thing that we put up,
I mean, yeah, no, we'll have to see for sure.
Yeah.
So besides 501st in Hawaii, are you also part of the Collector Society here?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Money.
No, I mean, that's fair. I mean, the Black Series is already killing me as much as it is, and I might have made a lot more Black Series purchases in the future, but...
I don't need more hobbies. I already have too many hobbies.
So it's kind of like the suits right now, like your main hobby, I would say?
Yeah, I'm kind of at this phase now to where I'm just like trying to perfect the suits that I already have as much as possible. Not really looking into doing anything new. I am doing commission work though, so if anybody's interested in something specific, I'll make pretty much anything.
Nice, just commission for anything.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, okay. And I'll let you know like if it's doable or if not. It probably will be though.
Do you do blasters?
No, I do not do blasters. It's mostly just armor parts.
Okay. No, I unfortunately left my DC-15 out in the sun, and instead of being like this, it's now like this.
Your long one?
Yeah, and because I was posting the pictures too, and I tried to correct it by heating and like bending, and it snapped in the places that I was already gluing it. So now I'm in this huge like mess of trying to fix it. So it's not going to be done already if we decide to do that photo shoot next week. But I was so upset about that because it was my fault too, because I've always propped it up almost vertically, like on the deck that we have. But I was trying to dry the paint and the sun was on the other side. So I moved it to the other side and then I leaned it like this. And I was talking to the boys on Xbox for about an hour and a half, and I went, "Oh, my blaster's outside." And I look out the window and I see it like
tilted.
And I was like, I'm just gonna pretend like that was an optical illusion, and then it
My
wasn't an
gosh.
optical illusion.
Yeah.
So I was very, I mean,
It's very unfortunate.
yeah, it's either I'm gonna really, really try hard to fix it, but I just don't want to have to scrap it yet because
Sure.
I've done so much to resurrect this blaster after it broke in shipping. But I guess we'll have to see. I guess we'll have
Bring it
to
down
see.
here sometime. Maybe we can fix it.
You know what? That's a good point. Maybe I'll just consider doing that at some point too.
Yeah.
But I know because you mentioned you've done San Diego and you were going to try doing the Honolulu Comic Con.
Yep.
Are you a big con person in general?
I love going to cons.
Okay.
You know, I love, you know, just being in costume, interacting with people. It's, you know, it's, the interactions are some of the best parts with, you know, the whole 501st costuming bit. I'm normally a stormtrooper pretty much everywhere I go. Recently I've been doing clone stuff. I'm doing Commander-Appo, you know, so.
He's a true cloner. He's a
Sure.
certified 1313 cloner. We have a huge ongoing gag because we're a part of a lot of other content creators that are more like OT focused,
Yeah.
like their love of Star Wars. So they've kind of like deemed us like cloners because that's all we want to do is see clone trooper action figures in media and such. Because we're like down with the original trilogy, but as a joke.
I love everything. Maybe not the sequels as much, but you know, the sequels have their place. No, but I love all of it. You know,
Yeah.
I love the OT, love the prequels. The prequels might be my favorite, but OT like always has a special spot. Like you know,
I have 100% prequel bias because that was my Star Wars growing up as
that
well.
was mine as well. Yeah.
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 But you would be perfect. Well, it would be perfect, I should say, to have Tommy meet you or chat with you at some point because he is a sequel defender and lover.
My
The
goodness.
Last Jedi is probably in his top 3. I want to say it's number 2, but one of my buddies, it is his top movie, and he will like fight people on a hill about that all day, any day, about why it is a goated tier movie and why people just hate it for no reason, kind of a thing. But again, everyone has their own enjoyment in Star Wars.
See, I remember seeing like The Force Awakens when it came out, and
Mhm.
it's still a solid movie.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Definitely, like I'd say it was a safe movie though. You know, it was
Mm-hmm.
definitely very similar to A New Hope in a lot of ways. No, but then I remember like after that, I think it was Rogue One that came out next.
Yes.
Even better, I was like, oh
Go
my
with the
goodness,
sauce.
you know. And it leads right up into A New Hope, and I was like, this is perfect. Oh
Mhm.
my gosh. And then what was it? It came. What's the next one?
The Last Jedi was
The
next
Last
one.
Jedi. I remember being very, very excited to go see that. And I remember watching it in the theater, and about an hour in, I was kind of like getting tired and like kind of falling asleep. And then like kind of like in my head, I was thinking, wait, do I actually like what I'm watching right now? You know? So I was like, yeah. But.
Yeah, that's fair. The only thing that, if I could change like some points of Star Wars history, it would be to go back in time and have more people enjoy that movie specifically,
Yeah.
only because of the backlash. We feel like Solo like really, really got hurt.
Yeah.
Did you like seeing Solo?
The movie Solo?
Yeah.
I enjoyed the Solo movie.
Okay.
I know a lot of people don't like it, and there's definitely, it's not a perfect movie.
Sure.
But for what it is, I really enjoyed it. I think the casting for Solo was a little weird. I thought they nailed Lando, though. Like, Lando was perfect.
Donald Glover is good.
Dude, it was great.
Sauce.
I was like,
Yeah.
dude, this is awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Have you seen the inner working talks about how Billy D. Williams and Donald Glover are potentially working on a show together?
I have not.
It has been in the rumor mill, 1313 rumor mill now, for a little bit of time, and as we said before, nothing is officially confirmed for a show or a project until they tell us and show us a trailer. And speaking of upcoming shows, did you see the articles and leaks for Skeleton Crew yet?
I did see a couple things.
Okay.
It's harder to keep up with it, you know. I'm so busy at work all the time now. It's like it's hard to
that's
keep up
okay.
with these things. But I did see some of the things, yes.
Okay, yeah, because People Magazine, as the time this episode goes up, it'll probably have been out almost for a week now, of, I think it was 4 or 5 different images of, like, scenes in Skeleton Crew, and then just randomly, the Lego set's already available
Yeah.
in Target, and people are buying that. I think it's in the same wave as the light cruiser that you can get Cal Kestis in, and it's with the the TIE Fighter / X-Wing from the Lego special that they're about to put out. with
Actually, I
Bungie
did
and
see
all.
that. Yeah. I did.
Yeah, but it's just, we were talking about it too on the show. It's just weird because it would have been nice if they mentioned something at Comic-Con,
Mhm.
but they're not going to because D23 is basically in another month now.
Yeah.
And so they're really going to probably wait for that, but it's just awkward announcements and marketing, and kind of feel like Star Wars has been dropping the ball on that for a while.
Yeah,
They've made
no,
a few
it's
bad blunders.
yeah. Like I don't want to say it's a very tightly knit organization. You know, it's a very well done, well oiled machine, I guess you could say.
Mhm.
But lately, you know, we've been having a lot of inconsistencies with the just the production team, you know, and the people that work there.
Oh, exactly.
I know that they're doing their best. They're doing what they
Mhm.
can, but you know, no one's perfect. So.
Yeah, I feel like the most notable for us too that we were like, oh my gosh, about was when season 1 of the Bad Batch was coming out,
Yep.
and we got the second to last episode, and then all over social media, Disney was all like, hey everyone, you're getting a season 2 of the Bad Batch. And
Yep.
we're like, oh, but why did you tell us now? Like,
Yep,
that doesn't
yep.
really make any sense.
Yep.
And I mean, I really, really loved the Bad Batch as a show. I feel like season 1 and 3 are definitely highlights.
It's one of the best shows. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Did you enjoy the ending for it?
For the last season?
Yeah.
I was surprised by the ending. I think a
Okay.
lot of us were. You know, I think everybody, you know, because lately all the shows have been sad, bad, or not bad endings, but like, you know, just like kind of heartbreaking endings.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially with the Clone Wars, you know, that was perfect ending. That's exactly how it should have been. But no, with the Bad Batch, I was like, okay, you know, not bad. It seemed to me too that like they didn't really explain what happened to, you know, Wrecker and Crosshair too, like if they were still alive. You know, it was mostly you just saw Hunter and you saw
Mhm.
Omega when she's older. You know.
Yeah, that was probably one of our big critiques too. Is like, oh, like I wish I could have seen the rest of the batch like
Yeah.
grown up more. But I mean, it is what it is. Maybe they're not done yet. They
Yeah.
have a really good track record of introducing characters for like a second in some shows, only to bring them in later.
And
like
Hunter
Ventress.
did, you know, like Hunter did kind of imply that everybody else was still alive. You know.
Oh, yeah.
He did say like, you know, if you need us, you know where to find us. You know.
Mhm. For us too, we were really, really just hoping that at some point they're gonna do like a follow-up later, because we thought we were gonna get closure on why Rex, Wolf, and Gregor are on that planet in
Yeah.
Rebels
Mhm.
for sure, or maybe what even happens to Cody, and then Cody just disappeared. And I mean, I get it wasn't the Cody or the Rex show, it was the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
But maybe sometime else, I still want to see my boys.
Yeah.
Did you see that LucasArts, like the animation studios, is hiring for a project right now too?
Did not see that.
That was well, it's a public job posting, but somebody had posted about that, I think, almost 3 weeks ago now.
Really?
But that it's on Disney's website for like a main studio head, and it says like needs experience in animation
You
to
gonna
like
apply?
make. Absolutely not, dude. Art is not my forte. But yeah, they want like a main studio head to work on the next big like Star Wars animated project.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh shoot. So it's good to know that Star Wars animated content isn't gonna die off now
Yeah, of
after we got
course.
Tales of the Empire and Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Because I think the animated content is some of the best
Yeah, oh, yeah,
compared to the
definitely.
live action too. But again, that's personal bias.
It's all Dave Filoni right there. You know,
Oh, yeah.
like it's one of the best storytellers I've ever seen. You know.
Exactly too. Did you? I guess maybe of the shows that came out this year, because we had, what was it? Acolyte, Bad Batch, and Ahsoka was this year, right?
I think it was.
Am I tweaking?
I think
That's
it's
the
2023. I think.
Crap, because that's the hard part too.
So we haven't really. I mean, it's kind of. It's still the year's still kind of young. It feels like.
Yeah, no. Cause
I know it's kind of almost the end of the year, but.
yeah, crap. Time's catching up to
Yeah.
me. I'm getting
Yeah.
older.
I know. I feel that.
Yeah, we have Skeleton Crew on December 3rd now. Have you seen leaks on characters on Andor?
I have not, but I am very, very excited for that show. Because it's funny, Andor kind of came out of nowhere too. I was very, after seeing all the shows that were coming out, after seeing Rogue One too, I loved everything about Rogue One. I thought Andor as a character was like, okay, cool. But then, like, when I saw that there was an Andor show, I was like, do we really need this? You know?
Mhm.
And then the show came out, too, and I was like, whoa, that is... out of all the live action, I like Andor more than the Mandalorian show, I'm going to be honest.
I mean, yeah, a lot of people liked
Yeah.
like the spy and the thriller
Yeah.
aspect it took. For us on the show, it was one of the most underwhelming shows that we were looking forward to because
Yeah.
we're like, get rid of this, give us the Bad Batch, give us
Yeah.
every other show, and then it came.
Ended up being one of the best ones.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We were blown away by it. The
Yeah.
dialogue was great. There's so many good like scenes that you could just rewatch.
Yeah.
I think for me, one of my personal favorites is just Aldani. I
Yeah.
love that whole segment. And the end, well, the Prison Break 2 is goated.
I love the way that they portray the people in that show, like both
Yeah.
the protagonists and the antagonists.
Mhm.
They show the people, like the protagonist is almost desperate, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then they show like the Imperials and stuff. They show it off more like it's a business, not like necessarily bad people, which
Mhm.
I really appreciated that about the show, because in the end, it's just all just people doing their thing, It's not really like good or there's a good and bad in the show,
Mhm.
or just in Star Wars in general. But like they're all in the end they're all just people trying to exist.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the Book of the Wills?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so by the time that this episode comes out, our main episode that we did for last week was like Star Wars, like facts and maybe like deeper knowledge that you might not know. And part of that, in referencing before, is that the Star Wars that we know as a story is supposed to be like translated onto the screen from what is the Book of the Wills.
Yep.
And so people have come up with these crazy theories to even say that what if somebody is writing the Book of the Wills in such a way that portrays the rebellion as better than the Empire for
Yeah.
certain reasons, or that like that was even like a huge theory after like the Blu-ray edition came out and Greedo shot first instead of Han.
Yeah.
Is that it's supposed to be rebel propaganda and
Yeah.
that Han isn't supposed to be an aggressor. But I feel like having Andor now in the slate of things and humanizing all aspects of people in the show is something that we've never seen before with Star Wars content. Because like you said, it's always been a fight of good versus evil, but now it's a fight of morals and personal objectives.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
it kind of just
Like,
grew us
it's
on.
not black and white at this point,
Exactly.
It's all kind of like a gray area, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's why I absolutely loved it. Super excited for season 2. Won't spoil any of the character reveals. I forget if we have talked. We definitely did talk about it on the show, but there was leaked images from the set early on to shooting. So I've seen like a couple like key characters that are supposed to be in the show allegedly, and there was one action figure reveal, well, a leak I should say, that does hint at a certain trooper type being in the next season as well. So a lot of good things to come. Really hoping on that. I hope we get some more concrete dates with D23 coming up on like a good timeline. And I don't know about you, but I want to see some more Star Wars movies.
Oh, yeah.
Because for the past
We haven't had a movie in a while. Yeah.
I know, for the past couple
All
of
new
years,
shows.
yeah, it's just been, hey guys, we're coming out with this and this and this movie, and then all the projects get scrapped.
Yeah.
And according to Celebration in Europe last year, supposedly we're getting a movie in kind of like the High Republic era.
It's kind of what I was predicting would come next was,
Yeah.
because we have like our prequel, then we have our OT, then we have our sequel. And then I remember shortly, I think it was after like the last movie came out with the sequels, we started getting the High Republic books.
Yeah.
And then it only makes sense for them to start building on that,
Yeah, because like you said, it's the High Republic OT, and then something beyond with Rey, which I'm kind of surprised they would keep using Daisy Ridley as Rey.
I saw that they were like trying to keep like make Rey like her own thing, That's what I saw,
Yeah, allegedly. Because, I mean, like you said, you only know as much as I do because they keep saying they're doing
Yeah, I'm just a
these
guy,
things.
Yeah,
Yeah, so.
I don't work for Lucasfilm or anything, so.
See, I hope at least that we get some sort of concrete, like, this is a coming project at D23, or if not at that, even Celebration. Because they're going to save some heated things for that event.
Of course.
But I don't think, well, yeah, because you mentioned you know who Rex and Rat is, right?
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, so Michael's a good friend of ours at the show. He's been on before. Just thinking about Star Wars shows, and we've told this before on an episode, but we knew he was going to be in Kenobi months before the premiere.
I did see that, actually, yeah.
You did?
I have a few friends that were actually in Kenobi as well, so.
Oh, nice. But yeah, he told us right as we quit shooting, and he was like, and just so you know, you are the only people I'm telling about this. So if anything goes on the internet that I'm in Kenobi, I'll know it was you. And it was a $10 million NDA. So you're in big trouble if you say anything. We're like, Michael, how can you do this to us? And then we waited and waited and waited, and he's finally in the episode, and all these people online were like, oh my gosh, did you see that Rex and Rad was in Kenobi? And they were like, we knew it first, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Michael's super goated. I actually have one of his Phase 1 Commander Wolf helmets.
Really?
Because he sold, you know how he does that thing on Instagram where he just like posts stuff on his story and he's like, I'm selling this, like, DM me.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw that and I was in the room with my brother and my dad, and I think Tommy was there. But I immediately just shot him a DM and I was like, I'm interested.
Right off the bat, mine.
Oh yeah, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like that would be so cool. Like if I could actually get a helmet from like Rex and around. And so he messages me back like 10, 15 minutes later, and he's like, okay, all the other people before me that message said they didn't want it, so you're up. And he was like, do you still want it? I was like, yes, I want it. But I think I got it to him for like $150 or something like that too, because he didn't consider it his best work. But he told us too that the printer that was used to make that helmet was the same printer that a lot of the other props that we've seen in Kenobi and the other shows are as well. So.
Well, if you zoom in too on a lot of those props, like, I'm not saying he was the one that made them,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of those you can see the print lines on them still.
I didn't even know that. I haven't checked in depth. I know good friend of ours from the show, Jonah Fidelis, the guy who helped me make my armor. He's a huge stickler on like the way things look.
Yep.
So he's actually a very anti-person about like how Kenobi clones look and like all that other stuff too. Actually, you know, that might be an interesting take to get from you. What do you think about new era clone armor that we're seeing in live action?
So with that, I've seen a few of them in person, and you know, seeing them in person, I was a little bit like, oh, but like seeing them on like the movies and stuff, they look great in the. I think they look great in the show. You can definitely tell, like especially with the Ahsoka show. Yeah. That the actors are having a little bit of a hard time moving, and you know it looked a little bit like oh, okay, he's having a bit of a rough time. But honestly, I'm just happy to see clones in live action. You know,
absolutely.
I'm very, very happy to see those. This is an ROTS, Revenge of the Sith version, so you know it's technically not real. It's based off of, you know, the Revenge of the Sith movie. Mm-hmm. So, you know, that's a CG or like, you know, 3-dimensional model. So, it doesn't exist in real life. So we kind of have to like take our own liberty with it. But I think for what the clones are and like the new era of live action clones, they did a really good job with it. They did the best that they could do with it.
Yeah. No, I feel like that's a very fair assessment to give, because I know a lot of people in the clone detachment are also very anti-New Age clone and some of the other versions. But I mean, like you said, when you see them on screen, it's just like, oh, like that looks realistic, like and how it should be. Like they're running and their thigh plates aren't jabbing into the rest of their body. Because that's something I'm very much struggling with when I wear my 5s, is moving around a lot more.
See, I lucked out too. His name is Artisher Raptor. Have you heard of him?
I have not.
Oh, you have not? Okay, so he was actually he's a stunt actor. He was one of the clones in the Kenobi show. He's one of the 501st clones. He also played one of the Stormtroopers, I believe. But he was showing me, he was making his own new era 501st clone. And based off of the original suit that he wore in the show, which to my knowledge he was telling me, I think it was made of polyurethane. Thousands of dollars, you know.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, like, dang.
The one he has is made of ABS, to my knowledge, but no, he was showing me photos of it, like in detail, and like how he did it and everything. So I was like, oh, okay. So I got to see how it goes together and how it works. So yeah.
Maybe they'll eventually edit the clones down so much that we can sit. In I don't think they'll give us that liberty yet.
I don't think so.
No, I mean, like, I'm here for it. I like it. I mean, another one of our good friends in the 501st, Ian, has the New Age Kenobi suit. And it's you as the Revenge of the Sith version, him as the New Age, and I'm the outlier because I'm the sideshow suit, which are no longer allowed, but maybe they'll change it in the future, kind of hoping they change it in the future. But do you have any strong opinions on sideshow clones?
Not really. I think they're cool. I know that they claim to be as 100% accurate as possible. and they are very, very beautiful and very, very nice looking replicas. I do remember when they did that live action style Commander Fox, the Phase 1 one, where like the what is it, the antennas and stuff are like different colors. I was like, okay. I mean, I don't mind it too much. It's a little nitpicky to be complaining about this, but yeah.
Would you ever buy a Sideshow or Hot Toy figure in the future?
No. No, I've been told it's another rabbit hole to fall into, and I'm good.
It is a very, very
I don't need more
dangerous
rabbit holes, you know.
Yeah. I bought my first, and it was a Django Fett, probably 2 years ago, just because Django for me is like one of my all-time favorite characters. Love Tamara Morrison, and I had that, and then my brother got me Hunter as a gift, and what was it? I ended up getting gifted. It was Commander Vaughn by my parents.
Oh,
So I'm kind of like, crap, like now I have these. And then they just redid the Fives and Echo that they did in 2000, it was 11 or 12, they did the sideshows that my suit's based off of. So I did pre-order that because I was like, okay, I have to if it's the sideshow and I have the 5 suit too. But I mean, there's a few minor differences. I don't really care. Still looks goated with the sauce.
There you go.
But yeah, Sideshow is a very, very dangerous rabbit hole. Tommy on our show has pre-ordered 5 or 7 right now.
That sounds like around $1,400, you know,
I know,
if not
I mean,
more.
Oh yeah, dude is deep into it.
I'm like, I'm good. It's funny that you say that though. Actually, that like, your suit's based off of the Sideshow figure. So I know I just said earlier that I'm not really planning on making any new suits, but eventually I do plan on doing a realistic Captain Rex based off of the Sideshow figure. Which I love the idea of him, but I find it a little weird that he's realistic, but he has like an animated style pauldron, you know?
Yeah, I've definitely seen too for a lot of the, when people are adapting the art, they kind of mismatch the two.
Yeah.
But I know a guy who does pauldrons if you really, really want a nice pauldron.
I physically own both of them.
You own both?
Yeah, I already have them both, so I'm good on pauldrons. But,
okay. Just letting you know, brother, just in case you change your mind.
Fair enough.
What was I thinking too about the suits? Totally forgot. But yeah, Sideshow's a very, very dangerous slippery slope to get into. I don't advise getting it anytime soon. I actually couldn't even bring any of mine to Hawaii just because we had to pack a certain amount of bags anyway, and we needed needs and wants. And my Black Series became a need for me, but then the Sideshow was like a want to bring. I was like, maybe I should keep those nice in the boxes where they're not going to get damaged. And then if something were to happen later and I was really in a pinch, I could decide to sell it if I really needed to somebody. Because that's kind of the nice thing about it too, is that you're buying it for like $300-$400, but once it sells out, it's like gone. So I know a lot of people that exclusively only buy Sideshow, and that like resell it like later is like a business kind of an ordeal.
See, that's what I love about like the 501st race shirts that we do. You know, every time there's one, it's very hard like for me to not jump in on the run if it's available. You know, I mean, they're fairly inexpensive. You know, they're very unique. And once that, after that run, you're never getting that again. That's one of a kind,
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's kind of kicking myself in the butt. So for people that were in the Legion last year, they were doing a run on coins and racing shirts. But I wasn't in the Legion yet, and so everyone's getting their fire merch right now. And I'm kind of like, I joined the Legion too late.
I actually just thought the one you're sitting on.
Yeah, I was going to say, I just saw that. And then you ended up getting a custom one too, made by, is it Sold Out Swag?
Oh yes, yeah. So it's from the I think it was the Defender Detachment one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the have you heard of? Are you a member of the Defender Detachment?
No, I don't know what that is.
So you can actually join that because you're in the Army, correct? Like you're chaplain. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we have this thing called the Defender Detachment. It's a smaller, it's kind of like a subgroup of 501st, but it's also the Rebel Legion and the Mandalorian Mercs. It's available to any member. It is for first responders and military members, and just like anything like that. So like firefighters, police. It's for that audience of members. But yeah, no, it's our own thing. We our designations are always DD for Defender Detachment. Yeah, but it's all based around first responders and military personnel.
Oh wow, I actually didn't know about that,
Yeah.
and I have some
See
people.
you can't see it,
Yeah.
but that's a flag right there.
Yeah, because I did see the flags being posted online too, and I
Yeah.
saw like the silhouette of the different things, but I kind of just assumed that was another garrison or.
No, yeah. So you can actually become a member too if you're interested.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Good to know. I'll have to spread the word with. There's a few of the people in our Discord that are first responders or ex-Marines as well. My mentor too was actually born at Tripler and was in Hawaii for a period of time because his dad was in the Marines. Then he ended up joining later. I don't know if he was ever stationed in K-Bay, but I know he was in Japan at one point.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I'll certainly have to spread the word about the Defender Detachment.
Of course.
Didn't know. That's pretty cool though.
Yeah.
I didn't know there's even more subgroups.
Yeah, it's similar to like how like so if you don't know, for the 501st Legion we have like detachments for each set of costumes. Like there's like the clone detachment, there's the stormtrooper detachment, and that's like a club within a club type thing. But Defender Detachment is similar. It's like another club within a club, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that does. That is actually kind of dope for sure.
Yeah.
Now, I know you mentioned for suits, you weren't planning on doing anything else in the future because you wanted just to kind of focus.
I'm kind of just trying to. I've done a lot of work. I'm just kind of trying to relax now and just maybe if not do upgrades on the ones I already have type thing. Like pretty soon here I'm about to get new stormtrooper boots.
Nice. If you did have to choose another suit to make though, besides the Regs that you mentioned before, what would be like a dream kit that you would just like spend oodles of money on?
That's a tricky one, man. I really would like to do a Commander Fox.
Okay.
But there already are kind of. I'm not going to talk about it too much, but there already kind of is plans for that. So.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
See, that'd be kind of cool if you
Yeah.
had Fox and I was Fives, because we could have that internal beef with each other.
Yeah, but ultimately you die.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why we don't like Fox.
Yeah.
Hate Fox.
Yeah, I love Fox because he's the clone that everyone hates.
Seriously?
Yeah, he's the one that everyone hates. But there's also this. I saw this comment I think it was on an Instagram post that says, growing up is realizing that Commander Fox is just doing his job.
No, Tommy, our other co-host Tommy, is a police officer, and he's a huge Fox defender.
Yep.
So he's like, Fox did nothing wrong, yada, yap, kind of a spiel.
I do believe Fox could have used stun.
Yes.
But I was also kind of looking at it from the perspective that, okay, he sees someone that is clearly mentally unstable or, appears that way with a weapon. You don't know what's going to happen there. So that's kind of the way I look at it,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I do decide to be ignorant at this point.
I bet you do. I bet you do.
Jacob's probably got me on this as well. I can say that at least. Some of our other boys in the comments will definitely have me on this too. But I was trying to think. So, 501st, you don't really do a lot of the collecting aspect as well. Do you do?
With the 501st?
Oh, I just mean like you do like 501st stuff.
Oh,
you
yes,
don't really
yes.
do like a lot of like action figure collecting.
No, not really the action
Stuff like
figures.
that.
Mostly just the patches and the coins. I love collecting patches and coins.
Yeah.
And hey, if any members are watching and you have patches to trade, definitely hit me up. We can do some trades back and forth.
That's true. I will say now, first time on the show that I am doing my own coin run, and I did already.
You did show me
purchase that.
photos of it actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's a freaking amazing looking coin too.
Heck yeah. Really good friend of the channel, SWC Doodles, helped me render the design for the artist, and then a really, really good friend, Action Display from Croatia, helped me make that design too. So very grateful for all of y'all and for having such amazing supporters in our community. But yeah, I'm super stoked to get that in at some point. The goal was, and the reason I bought it so soon, rather than waiting a little bit later, was that I wanted to have it in time before I left for ICC Con, so I could like do it there, or even for the Honolulu Con.
Yeah, people will go nuts for that kind of thing too, because like they can only get it from you.
Exactly, that's why. And I know.
And eventually, when they're spread out, everybody will have them.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's definitely going to do it in celebration too, if I could. But yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to doing that. I'm trying to only stay in the coin aspect of collecting because
man.
I like the challenge coins for the military, and I have a few that are kind of like near and dear to my heart that were given to me for occasions. And so I'm trying to stay with that. I've never been a patches kind of guy before.
See, I love the
so-
patches. Sometimes I'll put Velcro on them and like stick them on the ceiling in my car. You know.
See, that's kind
Yeah,
of a fun
it
thing
is
to
kind of
do.
cool, and not really supposed to do this, but occasionally, like at work, on my flak vest, like my plate carrier,
Mhm.
I'll throw it on the back of the chest, you know,
That's
or like
fun.
on my backpack, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, or even on my bag that's off camera, I have the 7th Fleet patch for Thrawn, and I got that from, it's Spectre Surplus on Etsy. He's another
I've seen him
vendor
actually,
creator. I actually got to meet him at ICC-Con last
Oh,
year.
really?
He runs the business with him and his wife, who are both, well, they're a dual military couple, and they work in MI, but really awesome people. Would absolutely recommend their patches, but I know I have the 7th Fleet one.
A
I
few
know-
of their they did some bad batch ones, I think. I
They
have a few
did,
of those,
yeah. I have the Commander Wolf one too, and I wore it on my kit for almost the entire time that I was at Fort Knox for my training. And then I think it was during the last like week and a half,
Someone told you
my
to take it
master
off.
came up to me, ripped it off, and said, "Fire, the Army doesn't do morale patches," and handed
Oh
it
my
back to
gosh.
me. And I was like, "The Master Sergeant is for the 104th Wolfpack Battalion." And he was like, so, do you actually know the 104th was an actual division in the Army?
I am not surprised, you know.
It was deactivated after World War II because they suffered too many casualties.
Most of those, you know, like numbered legions and detachments that you see in like the Clone Wars show were, you know, originally like Army
Mhm.
or Marine Corps or just, you know, United States service, you know.
Yeah, and the for the 104th as well, their symbol was a wolf.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was kind of like, I'd have to look up the patch, but I'm pretty sure it was like a wolf like howling at the moon or
I'm
like
not surprised
like
because
standing or something.
so you know why the 104th like the Clone Battalion exists, right?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay, so that's actually kind of interesting. So to my knowledge, Dave Filoni
Yes.
loves wolves.
Mm-hmm. Huge wolf.
Commander Wolf is like his clone. Like,
Mhm.
so Kevin Weir from Imperial Surplus,
Yeah.
he actually made Dave Filoni a Commander Wolf helmet. But so to my knowledge, Dave Filoni is a very crafty kind of guy.
Mhm.
Like I think like for his audition, he showed up dressed up as a Jedi to be like like a director. But no. So he was given a raw cast. So that's kind of how we do a lot of our helmets. Like this was a raw cast.
Yeah.
You know, just clear, filled in and everything. We had to like take a Dremel, cut out the eyes, you know, clean it up, get all the excess resin off.
Yeah.
But so Dave Filoni actually made his own wolf helmet. Like he painted it.
Wow.
He did all that himself. It just got the cast from Kevin at Imperial Surplus. But no, so the reason that exists though, Dave Filoni loves wolves, and he decided, you know, he was gonna have his own wolf pack, you know, battalion in the Clone Wars. And then later too, if you actually saw in the Mandalorian show, he plays a rebel pilot called
Yeah.
Trapper Wolf. Yeah, you know what I'm
he has
talking about?
the
He's got the
symbol
wolf
on
pack
the helmet.
logo on the helmet. Yeah, so
No, that's like, no, I didn't actually know that.
Yeah, there you
Huge
go.
fan of Imperial Surplus. That's
Mhm.
where I got my armor kit.
yep.
Guys, go to with the sauce. I would love
This
to
is
hear.
not an Imperial Surplus helmet. This is actually Sanitized Creations.
Oh, okay,
But,
okay.
you know, a very reputable maker. The rest of my armor though is actually Imperial Surplus as well.
Oh, nice. But yeah, no, these kits are really fire. If you're
Outstanding.
thinking about doing a suit for your own, would recommend it.
Yep.
But yeah, because I was going to say, I only know about the 501st Legion coming into Star Wars because the group was already established
Yeah,
before
yep.
the prequels.
Mhm.
And so that was a homage
It was a
to
nod.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I did not know that about Wolfpack. So
There you go.
should have been on the last episode where we were talking about deep cut lore bits in Star Wars kind of a thing. It would have been perfect for that.
Well, hey, now you know.
I know, dang, but yeah, there's definitely got to be a history to the rest of. I mean, I'll eventually look into the rest of the numbers and see if they have meaning into anything too. But
There's another one. You know, Commander Doom.
yeah,
You know he's based off of Doctor Doom, right?
yeah, or like Thorn is based off Thor because he has the wings.
He's got
on
the
helmet.
wings. Yep. There's lots of different ones.
Well, I mean, there's also Captain Keeley in Amadai, the Jedi. Remember them?
I'm not familiar with that one actually. Or I mean, I know who he is, but like who the character is. But is there a meaning behind it?
Yeah, Captain Keeley because he dies in the only scene that we see him, and then his Jedi Master is Amadai because he dies in the same scene. And that was on that was during the siege of Ryloth in the Clone Wars. They're doing like a final stand, and it's just those two, and they both die.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, they could not have been more intentional with the writing at that point. So I guess if we have characters in the future that have names that reference their own deaths, I guess it's coming at some point.
There you go.
Yeah, that's like a classic like Star Wars like joke about like it's Captain Keeley because he was killed off.
My goodness, it's crazy.
Oh yeah, no, that's funny. Clone Wars is goated too.
One of the best shows there is, you know.
Oh yeah. Have you tried to watch the like supercut before, where it's the last 4 episodes of the Clone Wars and Revenge of the Sith and the pieces of the Bad Batch and all the other scenes from like the Mandalorian and the other shows?
Forgive me if I'm wrong. Is it the like the 3D like it's not fully like the animation's not fully like rendered, the 3D ones?
Oh no.
Like the unreleased ones, is that what you're talking about?
No, I know what you mean. So it was someone on Reddit, the file exists to download. They play the last 4 episodes of the Clone Wars and like it'll cut from the Clone Wars to Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, like
something
in between?
happens. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it like cuts from that to Bad Batch and all the other stuff.
I have not seen that, no.
It's probably, I think it's like 6 or 7 hours long to watch it. We only got like 2 hours into it the one time that we tried to see it, but it's done really well because you would think it's like it's a scene, it ends awkwardly and it goes into the next, but the person edited it such in a way that like it transitions like smoothly from like each piece of the content, so it isn't like choppy and like weird to watch. But if you're interested in it for yourself, just look up Revenge of the Sith Supercut online. There's a guy on Reddit, he has the file to download, it's free, so you can get a free movie online. I'm not saying pirating is a crime. I'm just, the 1313 podcast does not endorse pirating movies, but who's going to find you doing it? No, but yeah, I was going to say, at least that's all I had to kind of think about for some stuff for the chat today as well. Did you have anything else that you wanted maybe to mention, or how can the people online find you?
Yeah, so actually, I don't have a whole lot of platforms going on right now. My main one is Instagram. You can follow me at pacific.commandet.appo.
Okay. So yeah, make sure to check them out on Instagram, everybody. Give them some love. Our community's really good about outreaching to others, so this is a good one that you're going to want to check out, especially for some cloner content or for some 501st stuff as well. But no, before we conclude today's episode, we do have to do our lightning round today. So we have 3 important questions. I did semi-brief you before the episode starts,
earlier,
but we're going to do favorite character, movie, and show. So first one, what's your favorite Star Wars character?
I'm going to say Anakin.
Okay. Solid choice.
I like a lot of them. It's hard to pick one.
No, that's fair. Favorite movie?
Oh. Empire Strikes Back.
Okay, that's a good one too. That's a good one. We'll give you
Strikes Back.
that. Now, favorite show?
Favorite show? Probably Andor or Clone. No, that's wrong. Clone Wars. I'm wrong. Clone Wars.
Alright, Clone Wars. Certified cloner all the way. We can appreciate it. Thank you so much, Noah, for coming on the show today. Again, everybody, please make sure to check out his Instagram handle that he provided. And I'll throw it in the description of the video too to make it easier for people to find that as well. But again, make sure that you're talking to amazing people like Noah and ourselves in our Discord if you want to join that. Make sure you're checking out with us on social media for all the latest and greatest 1313 updates. Please support our Patreon if you want to help see the show grow. Every cent that you donate to us seriously goes back into it. We'll hopefully be able to upgrade to new mics that we will be using at ICCCon. So super stoked that we're able to upgrade equipment finally. And buy the merch. Thank you everybody for watching today. And thank you so much, Noah, for coming on the show too.
Of course. Good talking.
Yeah.